Sports fans, it's May 7th, Louisville, Kentucky, and we're approaching post time for the Run for the Roses, the 81st time the Kentucky Derby at Churchill Downs. As you can see, it's overcast, dark, and gloomy here in Louisville. That's where he got the cold. But the track on this mile-and-a-quarter race is fast. There are going to be 10 of them try for the Derby. It's the smallest field since '48 when Coletown and Citation topped a field of 6. Blue Lamb, Racing Fool, Flying Fury, Nebezna, Honey's Alibi, Nashua, Trim Destiny, Swaps, Jeans Joe, and Summer Tan as the field. But most people think the race is going to be right here. That is number 5, William Woodward's Nashua with Eddie Arcaro. There's Willie Shoemaker, Miss Tenny, and Swaps, the California horse. The starter's got them all lined up. He presses the button, and here comes history. They're off. And in the middle of the track, that's Nashua and Trim Destiny braking smartly. Eddie Arcaro's got his kid right out there, but now he decides to take him back. And moving to the forefront is the horse from California with Willie Shoemaker in the darker of the silks. That is Swaps making his move. Number 7 as they come by the stands the first time. It's the Fleet Khaled colt who's got the measure of Trim Destiny on the inside. He gets ahead in front, and now free striding, but under command. There goes Swaps around the first time with Trim Destiny, Nashua, and Summer Tan in that order. Arcaro, oh, there's Brian Field, who was watching the race, and the folks too, as everybody comes to his feet, as Willie and Swaps has the lead on the inside in the darker of the silks. Look at Eddie Arcaro on Nashua, pumping, urging, and pushing, and now he goes to the whip, trying to catch the California colt, but this looks like it's going to be Swaps and Willie Shoemaker's day. He begins to lengthen his stride. He's pulling away, and over 100,000 have realized this is the second time in Churchill Downs history a Californian wins the race.
And Win Elliott to describe it to us.
So Pimlico down in Baltimore, and more than 26,000 rally round for the second gem in racing's Triple Crown, the Preakness. 8 3-year-olds sprayed out for the race, and the odds-on favorite is Nashua. Belair Stud's fine colt. They're in the gate. And they're off for the mile and 3/16 trip. Coming past the stand, Saratoga, ridden by Nick Shuck, takes the lead. Honey's Alibi is second. Fleet Path third, and Nashua, with Eddie Arcaro in the saddle, is fourth. Swap, winner of the Kentucky Derby, is not entered. Going down the backstretch, still in the same order. Saratoga, Honey's Alibi, Fleet Path, and Nashua. But now, Nashua is starting to move. He rolls past Fleet Path and Honey's Alibi, and they drop back. Coming around the turn, Saratoga is still holding on to the lead by half a length. He gave Nashua a real battle in the Florida Derby, and he's giving the Belair colt another one in this Preakness. Out of the turn into the stretch. That's Saratoga on the inside, with Nashua trying to pass him. Dueling down the stretch, Saratoga gives ground grudgingly, but Nashua gains inch by inch and hits the wire winner by a length.
And there's the horse everybody thinks is going to be the champion on this dull, rainy day. And he gets out of the gate smartly as usual, Eddie Arcaro and William Woodward's Nashua. That's he, number 6 with the Bel Air colors. Eddie takes a quick look over his shoulder on the left to see what the rest of the field is going to do. He knows this is a mile and a half. He knows you can't really get shot out, that class has got to tell on a race this long. He's taken him back a little. That's he on the outside. He's now rounding the field. If you can spot the white with the dots. Eddie Arcaro on Nashua. He's got his eyes on the top, and there's a fella's got his eyes on the winner's window. And it's going to be Nashua. Look at him stretch it out. He's got a 6-length lead now. Eddie checks the rest of the field as he pulls away 7 lengths, 8 lengths, and just about 9 lengths as William Woodward's Nashua with Eddie Arcaro goes over the Belmont finish line, the winner.
One man was a catalyst for this match race. The movie star, Don Amici. Was it
who
Don
invented
Amici?
the telephone and various other little
And he
amenities.
invented the match race.
Yes, well, he was in Chicago at the time, and Ben Lindheimer was alive. And as I said, a match race happens because you have the horses, you have the time, you have the place, and there's the money.
And so we're going to Chicago's Washington Park, August 31st, 1955, for what they called the race of the century.
Nashua with Al Robertson leading him off the train. This is the Eastern candidate for championship honors. He had won the Preakness and the Belmont, or was it that brilliant red colt from California? Not only is it East versus West, but it's the traditional training methods of Jim Fitzsimmons versus the cowboy approach to the racehorse Rex Ellsworth and Mish Tenney. And here's Eddie Arcaro. Couldn't be a better jockey than old Banana Nose. And on one of his favorite Mazrula colts, he's got a lot to prove here today. And there's Willie Shoemaker, the little toy watch charm jockey coming on with the cowboy horse Swaps. And now the big field tenses as everybody comes down to the inside rail as we approach a starting gate with a once-in-a-lifetime sight. Just 2 horses in there. Arcaro and Nashua on the inside, and the bell rings, and they're out of the gate. And look at Nashua, look at Eddie whip in that Belair stud horse to get him out front. Willie takes a look over his left, and they seem to be even as they come down the grandstand way at the first turn. But there is Nashua in full stride. He's got the lead now, a full length as they make that first turn. We understand the track is a little drier and faster on the inside, and that's where the old Master Eddie is taking his horse. But Willie's got lots of big red colt under him. Look at him start to come up now with those gorgeous little wrists of his. He's inching Swaps up. Now it's a half length. He's almost got him up to the head. But Eddie is not going to have any of that. Can Nashua hold him off? He's stretching out a little. Look at Eddie going to the pump as they go up the back stretch. And it's Nashua now lengthening out a half length, 3/4, and it's just about a full length lead now. As Belair studs Nashua with Eddie Arcaro sticking under the dry side of the track, has got 2 lengths of a lead on Swaps now, maybe 2.5. But Willie isn't done. Here he comes again. The big red coat from California is inching up. Gee, Eddie pulled away again. It says cat and mouse. As Sonny Jim Fitzsimmons has got this Nashua colt in the greatest shape of his life. He's got a 2-length lead again. Eddie seems to be opening up. Is Swaps done? Has Willie shot the bolt? No, here they come again. 3/8 of a mile coming up. They're that close to home. Look at Willie drawing closer, closer, stride by stride. But Nashua seems to have enough. There goes Willie to the whip, left-handed. Eddie answers with the whip, both hands now. They're coming into the stretch. It looks like Nashua is, or Swaps begins to falter a little here, and now it looks like Eddie and Nashua have the day. Eddie and Nashua 4 lengths in the lead and pulling away. Eddie looked over his shoulders, couldn't find the California colt. He doesn't care now. He's going to keep Nashua about his business as he heads to the finish line. Washington Park, he's going to do it. Eddie Arcaro and Nashua, they beat Swaps in the match race of the century.